In this session, we will see how to restrict access to secured pages in the administrative side of the website. Now, when a user is successfully, when the user login and password matches from the database, it means the user is a valid user. In that case, we create a session variable by the name user ID and save the user ID received from the database in this session variable. And if the user fails to provide a valid login and password, then we create a variable by the name user ID in the session and store the value 0 in that variable. So we will use the same logic to check whether the user has successfully logged in, and if the user has successfully logged in, only then we will allow him to execute a secured page. So now we have two criteria. First one, if the variable user ID does not exist in the session. So we have to check whether variable user ID exists in the session or not. If the variable does not exist, it means the user has not logged in, so he should not be allowed access to a secured page. And the second thing that we want to check is that if the variable user ID exists in the session but its value is 0, so again we will it means that the user was unable to provide a valid login and password, so the user is not a valid user, and the user should not be allowed access to the secured page. So here is the code. First we have called the session start to create or open a session. Then we have used the isSet function of PHP. isSet function checks whether a variable exists or not. So the command written is if not isSet $_session UID. It means if not exist user ID variable in our session, or in simple terms, if the user ID variable does not exist in our session, then instead of letting the letting the server execute the whole code or send this page as an output to the user, we will ask the server to redirect back to login page. So if this condition is true, the server will stop executing sending output of this page to the user, and instead it will redirect back to the login page, and the user will again see the login and password screen in front on its browser. If this condition is false, then this redirection will not occur and we will come to this line. Now here we are checking that if the value in the session variable named user ID is 0, again we will ask the server to redirect back to login page. So as mentioned here, if this variable does not exist or this variable exists but its value is 0, in both the cases user was unable to log in properly. So in both the cases we will redirect back to login page. So this piece of code, these few lines, we will add these lines to all those pages that we want to that we want to be secured. So like I want view category page on the server side to be a secured page. So I will copy these lines and paste them in the start. So this is how we make a page secure. Thank you.